What is happening to the metaverse? Here we can see that Roblox wants to shed its metaverse label. What's going to happen? Is this word metaverse, which can be so tightly associated with Meta, formerly known as Facebook, as such a bad thing? What does this mean for the Upland metaverse? And why does Roblox want to disassociate itself from this word? In order to understand why Roblox is making the shift away from using the term metaverse, I think it's important to look at this tweet here and dive into this. This is the OMA3, which is the Open Metaverse Alliance for Web3, and they just announced their first major public project, and it is the IWPS, the Interworld Portaling System, and it is critical to understanding the metaverse and why Roblox is stepping away from it. Now, just a word about OMA3. Its current chairperson is Dirk Luth, who is the co-founder of Upland, and you can see here just some of the companies that are involved in this. Obviously, Upland, we also have the Sandbox, Decentraland, Dapper Labs, Animoca Brands, and a lot more. And the goal of this OMA3 group is to ensure that virtual land assets, ideas, and services are highly interoperable between different platforms and transparent to all communities. So just like Upland, Decentraland, Sandbox, and other metaverses are standalone metaverses, how are they going to be connected to each other? This is what OMA3 is working on. So what is this IWPS? If you go back hundreds and maybe even thousands of years, how were people connected to each other? People lived in different cities, and they built roads, and they built railways, and they built highways, and this was the infrastructure that was able to connect these people that physically lived in different parts of the world. More recently, we now have the internet, and this is a tool that helps to connect each other as well. And there's something that's called HTTP. I'm sure you're familiar with it if you ever had to type in a website and you started typing by http://www and then the website. So HTTP actually stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So this is actually the rules and the language, the protocol that allows for the information to be transferred between clients such as a web browser and a web server itself. So this is the digital equivalent of these roads and railways and highways. Now, as we look forward to Web3, where we have these different metaverses, and each one of them is its own world into itself, how are we going to be able to connect them? And this is exactly what OMA3 is working on, this IWPS Interworld Portaling System. How are you going to be able to bring your avatar and all of the assets or NFTs that you own in one metaverse into a different metaverse? With this end goal of interoperability and having these worlds interconnected, this infrastructure is going to be extremely important for the entire Web3 ecosystem. So now that you understand a little bit more about OMA3 and what this portal does in connecting these different lands, let's take a look back at Roblox. Now, if you're not familiar with what Roblox is, on their website, they say Roblox is a global platform where millions of people gather together every day to imagine, create, and share experiences with each other in immersive, user-generated 3D worlds. The types of gameplay on Roblox are just as limitless as the imagination of the creators themselves. Now, I'm not a Roblox expert or an expert about all of these other metaverses, but when I look at this description, I see they're talking about immersive user-generated 3D worlds. And I see that many of these other metaverses are also creating such things. So what really sets Roblox apart, and why are they moving away from this word, the metaverse? Now, in terms of popularity, the Roblox, as they say here, with millions of people gathering every day, this type of adoption has not yet happened within these other metaverses. So Roblox is very popular with children, and it's growing in popularity with other age groups as well. But the main difference between Roblox and these other metaverses is in fact that Roblox is not a metaverse. So it makes complete sense that they are going to start moving away from using that term. Now, if we go back to OMA3, their goal again is to ensure virtual land and digital assets are highly interoperable between platforms. So the key here is that when they're talking about virtual land and digital assets, they're actually talking about NFTs. NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, are written on the blockchain and they ensure ownership over those digital items. If you buy a property or anything within Upland, for example, that is an NFT, whether it be a property, a car, a block explorer. These things are yours to own. And we now see this with the portal that Upland has created to Ethereum, where you can now download your block explorers from Upland and sell them on Ethereum-based marketplaces like OpenSea, for example. Now, if you play Roblox and maybe you bought a shirt for your avatar, or maybe you purchased something else within that game, it's not actually yours to own because Roblox does not deal with NFTs. They're not located on the blockchain. So these things that you've purchased, you've actually purchased the right to kind of rent them. If Roblox tomorrow disappears, then so does that thing that you purchased. However, in other metaverses, if the game disappears itself, you still own the assets and you can do with them as you please. You might say that if the game were to disappear, what would the assets be worth? Now, that is a completely different story. That's a different question. The fact of the matter is that since you own it, you are able to do something with it. Whereas in Roblox, the things that you purchase are not actually yours to own. So when we're looking at this topic of interoperability and you want to take the things that you own from one place to another place, let's say from Upland to the sandbox, OMA3 is creating this protocol and this way to transfer your assets from one place to another place. And this just simply doesn't include Roblox at all because they don't deal with NFTs. So back to this tweet from the Drum where Roblox wants to shed its metaverse label, it's very clear now why they want to do that. They don't want to mislead their customers in thinking that it's a metaverse where you can buy and sell NFTs, which it simply isn't. It might be a great game, it might be a great platform, but a metaverse, it is not.